Most of the plastic in the ocean comes from these countries. Plastic waste is slowly but surely taking over the world's oceans, and the bulk of them apparently comes from just 5 Asian countries. A study from Ocean Conservancy estimates that 55 to 60% of plastic polluting the oceans comes from 5 countries: China, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam. Uncollected and mismanaged waste on land accounts for about 80% of the 8 million metric tons of trash that flow into the oceans each year. Environmental organization Greenpeace claims corporations are also at fault for selling products in single-use plastic packaging, especially in so-called sachet economies like the Philippines. Various studies have shown that plastic pollution negatively impacts marine animals and may be indirectly affecting humans through the food chain. Fortunately, improving waste management practices in the 5 countries can result in a 45% reduction of global plastic waste leakage by 2025. In tackling plastic pollution, everyone has a role to play. From governments and big conglomerates to the people on the street, every bit helps. Time to get rid of all that plastic. Sea bin device designed to keep the ocean clean. Australian surfers Andrew Turton and Pete Kuglinski, who are also best friends, decided to do something after they became frustrated with the amount of trash that was floating in the ocean waters that they spent much of their childhood playing in. The duo quit their jobs and invented the sea bin, which is what they hope will be a sustainable way to reduce the amount of garbage that is polluting the world's waters. Built from recycled materials, the sea bin is fixed to a dock with a water pump that runs on shore power. The pump brings water through the sea bin, which allows the natural fiber bag inside the device to catch the floating rubbish and debris before water is pumped back out. Users have the option of installing an oil and water separator to the pump to clean the water that flows through it before the water is allowed to flow back into the ocean. The sea bin is lined with a natural fiber catch bag that collects floating debris. When the bag is full, it can be changed with another clean one, and the collected debris can be disposed of responsibly. Turton and Kuglinski are trying to raise enough capital to turn the sea bin prototype into a reality. According to Australia's ABC News, crowdfunding has helped the 2 men raise $50,000 for commercial production, and a video of the sea bin in action has attracted more than 10 million hits online.
Researchers discover that worms can eat plastic. Researchers led by scientists at Stanford University in the US and Beihang University in China have found that the mealworm can safely biodegrade various types of plastic. Americans discard about 33 million tons of plastic every year, less than 10% of which gets recycled. A solution to this problem may be the mealworm, which researchers in an ongoing study found can subsist on a diet of styrofoam and other forms of polystyrene. The bacteria in the mealworm's gut is able to biodegrade the plastic as part of its digestive process. Researchers found that 100 mealworms were able to eat between 34 and 39 milligrams of styrofoam per day, which is about the weight of a small pill. The worms converted about half of the styrofoam into carbon dioxide, while they excrete the bulk of the remaining plastic as biodegraded fragments. Worms on the plastic diet remained healthy, and their droppings appeared to be safe for use as soil for crops. According to a Stanford University press release, the study is important because it contradicts the belief that styrofoam is a non-biodegradable type of plastic.
Researchers find plastic-breaking fungus. New research coming out of China may hold the key to dealing with the world's massive plastic waste problem. Plastic is not easily biodegradable and can take thousands of years to decompose. A group of researchers found Aspergillus tubangensis, a common soil fungus, at a dump in Pakistan. Under laboratory conditions, it was shown to break down plastic in weeks, not years. Aspergillus tubangensis has previously been found in patients with lung conditions, such as cystic fibrosis. The fungus used its roots to break apart the plastic, but its effectiveness was found to be influenced by other factors, such as temperature and pH levels. Researchers say that tweaking these could pave the way for fungi to be used in waste treatment plants or in soils impacted by plastic. There might be a solution to the giant garbage patch in the Pacific Ocean. A Dutch group aiming to rid the oceans of plastic junk has announced it will begin efforts to clean up the Great Pacific Garbage Patch by 2018, 2 years earlier than originally intended. The organization Ocean Cleanup will use trash collectors in the form of curved booms and screens, which are suspended by anchors floating in deep water. The system will act like an artificial coastline, catching plastic debris as it drifts on the surface or just below the water. Once full, a vessel empties the system and transports the collected plastic to land for processing and recycling. The group plans to deploy up to 50 systems and expects to collect 50% of the trash in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch in just 5 years. Ocean Cleanup's first pilot parts are now in production and will begin testing off the west coast of the US by year's end. Caterpillars could save the planet from plastic trash. After years of trying to find a way to get rid of plastic waste, scientists may have finally found a solution, courtesy of a drab little bug. Wax moth caterpillars that typically eat beeswax in hives have been found to also be capable of degrading plastic. Polyethylene is one of the most commonly used plastics, with strong carbon-to-carbon bonds that render it resistant to degradation. However, waxworms are able to make holes in a polyethylene bag in just 40 minutes, eventually eating through most of it in just a few hours. Researchers suspect bacteria in the guts of the worms are responsible for digesting the plastic and breaking it down into ethylene glycol, an organic compound. Scientists want to study the chemical process that allows polyethylene to be degraded and maybe adapted into a solution for managing the world's plastic waste.